Okay, so I'm working on my ultrasonic sensor here. I'm going to do up a quick sketch here for my ultrasonic sensor. So first thing, I need to initialize my pins. So VCC, I've plugged VCC, I'm just going to double check here. I've plugged VCC into 2. Okay, so set pin for VCC. Now remember, VCC is just sending power to our ultrasonic sensor. Ultrasonic sensor needs power to run, and VCC allows us to do that. Okay, I'm going to initialize trig. Now I've plugged the trig into 3. Okay, set pin for trig. Remember, trig sends out the ultrasonic pulse. Now I'm going to initialize the echo. I'm going to initialize that at 4. Plug that into 4. Set pin for echo. Alright, that's initialized all my pins. You might be wondering about the ground plug. Now, as I said, all of the ground plugs on here are the same. You can plug it into anywhere. You can mix and match ground plugs. It really doesn't matter. And I'm just going to put in all my things here. It's been a little while since I coded one of these ones. Now, what I'm also going to do is initialize a variable called duration. Initialize duration. Now, duration is going to be the length of time variable to measure time. Duration is going to be the length of time between the echo getting sent out from the ultrasonic sensor, the pulse getting sent out from the ultrasonic sensor, and it coming back to the echo. Okay, so continuing on. Okay, so in my setup here, I'm just going to set up my pins. Now I'm going to need pin mode. There we go. Now I'll set the trig to be an output. Now you guys should know that that makes sense because the trig is going to output our pulse. Okay, set trig as output. Okay, and the other one is going to be our echo, and obviously I'm going to set that as an input. Now, why aren't they? Shouldn't they come up? Okay, so for some reason we need to capitalize output. Shout it. Okay, so there's our 2 pin mode set. Set echo as input. Now we don't need to set the VCC. That's a power output that we'll set to high. Now the other thing I'm going to do is establish a serial connection. So serial.begin. Really need to remember to capitalize everything. Serial.begin 9600, and that'll open up a serial port at 9600. Okay, there's our whole setup so far. Now we just need to write some code to make all of this happen. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to set the VCC to high. So we're going to turn this on by setting VCC to high. That's our power source. So that's a pretty easy one. So we'll do a digital write VCC high, high, high. There we go. Turn on power to ultrasonic. Okay, so that's our first step. Now the second thing I'm going to do is set our trig to high. Digital write trig to high. Now that's going to send out our pulse. Send out ultrasonic pulse. Now we only want to do the shortest of pulses here, like a really short one. So we're going to put a delay, but we're going to do a delay in microseconds. Now I know I need to capitalize something here. Now I'm just referring back to the Arduino website to make sure I get my things right here. Okay, delay of 5 microseconds. That's 5 millionths of a second. It's a very short amount of time. Delay of 5 microseconds. So it's a very quick chirp from our ultrasonic sensor. It's way faster than that. Now, second digital write here to our trig, which is the thing that sends out the pulse. This time we're writing low. So try to understand what's happening there. We've turned on the ultrasonic sensor, then we've sent out the pulse, boop, waited 5 seconds, and then turned it off. Turn it on, turn it off. Really fast, super fast. Turn off the ultrasonic pulse. Now we need to read that ultrasonic pulse. Now whenever I read that ultrasonic pulse to be, I'm going to set my variable of duration to be that reading. So it's going to be duration equals, and this is a new command, you've never seen this, pulse in. Okay, pulse in's a bit complicated, so I'll just go through it real quick. So a quick explanation here. This is by Googling Arduino pulse in. Alright, so if we type in pulse in, it waits for the pin to go high, starts timing, and then waits for the pin to go low and stops timing. Okay, so basically it's going to do that, the pulse in. It's going to figure out how long this takes for the sound to go away and come back, bounce back. Okay, here we are, pulse in. So the pulse in we're reading is the echo, and we're reading it at high. So we're going to wait and see how long it stays high for. Okay, read duration of high and write to variable. That's really everything that's required, I think, in order to get your ultrasonic sensor working. But an ultrasonic sensor is no good if it's not outputting some sort of value. So I'm just going to read it via my serial. So I'm going to do a serial.print duration. So that means that it should print the duration of the pulse in. I'm also just going to do a serial.println. That'll just line after line after line, otherwise it scrolls across the page, which is a bit of a pain. And then I'll just put a delay on this. Now your delay will depend upon your purpose. I'm just putting a delay in of 500 milliseconds here because I want it to read it, and then I want it to read it, and then I want it to read it. Okay, so fingers crossed, plug my Arduino in here. Upload this thing. Oh yeah, whatever. Let's call it Ultrasonic Attempt 2. Okay, let's wait on it. I'm sure there'll be a mistake here somewhere. Oh, I already see him. Okay, there's definitely a lot of mistakes here. Let's fix them up. Boom. 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 Okay, let's try it again. Okay, serials aren't capitalized, but they should be. I should have known that because they didn't change color. Okay, it's done uploading, so I should be able to go over here to my serial monitor. And, okay. Alright, so it's reading 1209, 1212. I'll just show you what it's reading. Now there's actually you can see there's a webcam here, a webcam that's pointing down at my ultrasonic sensor. So it's saying that it takes 1200 microseconds. Let's go back to our little thingy here. It's reading the distance from there to the webcam, and it's saying it's 1200 something. Watch what happens when I bring my hand down closer to it. This is my hand getting closer and closer. I can show you over here. This is my hand getting closer and closer, and you can see it's taking less and less time to bounce back. Okay, so achieved. Now there is a small issue here. I'm not going to go through this in the video, but you may want to consider this. What our ultrasonic sensor is currently doing is figuring out how long it takes for that sound to go away and bounce back. How long in time. Now there is a way to convert that time in microseconds to a distance in centimeters. Now if you need that for your purposes, make sure you come and talk to me and we can figure out how to do that. For most of our purposes though, I think you'll find that you don't really care too much about the distance. You just want to be able to sense when something's close. And this sort of code will probably get you there. Alright, that's it. There's my ultrasonic setup.